Hey guys, Val Smith here, Tracy Jameson, Jerry Gonzalez. How y'all doing tonight? Welcome back. Really, hey? We've all there's the Canadian side, Jerry. Sorry for the A, but it's the Canadian version of a hangout. Yeah, we're really stoked, excited about what's going on here. We've been away for a little while. We've been I can't take credit for it. I got to smile when I say that. Tracy's been busting her butt. Jerry's been busting his butt. Troy's been busting his butt, doing everything in our power over the last seems like 3 years, but I think it was 3 months. Really does. It seems like 3 years, but 3 months to really make this an unbelievable, opportunity. The platform is absolutely sensational. Jerry had a major contribution to bailing us out late at nights. Tracy, you got to have all the credit in the world for going through the tsunamis that had to take place in order to get to where it is we got to go. There's always a little trial and tribulation when you're putting something miraculous together, and I really believe that we got something phenomenal happening here at oneuplistbuilder.com. It's going to be a great experience for everybody and anybody that gets involved in it. And I'm really stoked, guys. I'm not sure how you feel about it. Jerry, I'll even ask you. Tracy, I'll let you just kind of chill for a sec. We had some technical difficulties here, and Tracy takes on a whole lot of responsibility, which she shouldn't have to do that, but she gets all she's the perfect one out of the family here, so we got to make sure. So, Jerry, what do you think about the direction we're going, man, with this whole Bitcoin platform? With what you've seen, the evolutionary process of what you've seen from the original platform. Although we still were running the original platform and had sales coming in the whole time, there's still people working the program, which was great. But what do you think of the new enhancements here with, part of it is your creation as well too? What are you feeling, man? What are you feeling in your veins?
Yeah, well, I got to tell you, Val, it's great to be here and with you, Tracy, and Troy. The vision that you have for this company and we have as a whole is moving in a new direction. And I really think that it's going to be a great journey going in that direction. And the industry as a whole is changing as well, I think. And the financial institutions out there are making it possible for us to be able to do that. And I just think that it's going to be a great journey, a great drive towards a different goal that we have as a whole. And I know it's just great to be here, and I just love what we're doing here. We spent many a nights trying to get things going, and Tracy and I breaking our heads, as well as Troy trying to figure out, what needed to go where, what. But we got through it, and man, this is looking really great. And I think that people who decide to come on board and catch the vision of what's going on here, I really think that it's going to be something really big.
That's awesome, man. I really appreciate where you're coming from. And Tracy and I joke about this a number of times. We hear so many people out there saying, you know what, I'm going to start my own company. I'm going to start my own company. Everybody's a coach. Everybody's a trainer. They're going to start their own company, but they have no idea. Never mind the financial side of it. That can be an easy thing, but they have no idea the trials and tribulations, the hell, the horror stories, in putting it together right. I mean, it's not a $500 piece of software. It's not a $1,500 piece of software. I mean, it is if you plan to have maybe 500 people in your business, but if you plan to really expand globally and have 1 million people or 100,000 people or 250,000, whatever it is, you really need to go to town on this. I have a real, strong brand new appreciation for, what it takes to pull this off. And it's not like I did it back in, with Mentors in Motion back in the day when I was using Excel spreadsheets. It was amazing. So the hours you guys busted your butts doing it, I was kind of on the outside looking in a bit. But I got to commend you both, and Troy's kind of like our Gene Simmons of the band there.
He's the wizard.
He makes it happen, and he does it in such a humorous way. But it's what I want to talk about tonight is just what I'm witnessing out there on the internet, the major transition that's taking place. Like the last year, 2016, it's all been about brand new pre-launch this, pre-launch that, pre-launch this. But in the last 2 months, last 2 months, cryptocurrency has exploded all over the internet, and so many people don't understand it, including myself, really didn't understand it, getting to learn a heck of a lot more about it now. Tracy and Troy have really indulged themselves into it in a really big way. But it's amazing to see how fast it's just really come together, and it's like everybody's talking about it. It's like somebody hit a light switch on out there in the social networking industry, and it's like Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. It's becoming the gold, you know, like it's been out there since 2008, 2009. Nobody paid attention to it. I could have cared less about it 6 months ago, but now, like, it's like, whoa, man. And not only is it getting everyone's attention, it's getting a lot of people's attention that are looking at it. They're naive. They're kind of innocent. You know, they're fearful of it, but they're curious about it. They would like to get in. Nobody wants to miss the boat on something of that magnitude. But, you know, people don't have enough information to really take it to the next level because they're seeing this thing exploding like gold. I remember when Bitcoin came out in the earlier days, it was $8 US. $8 US. And then Tracy and I, in dealing with an associate and acquaintance before, you know, he was bragging about the $400 plateau. Then it dropped from 400 down to 200. And that was just several months ago. And now, Trace, what are we talking about out there in the, you know, in the world of cryptocurrency?
It popped out at about $1,810 today.
$1,800. I mean, just imagine how many millionaires are being developed overnight, or financially wealthy people, or people that could have used just an extra 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 grand, you know, added to their pocketbook. There's really incredible things here. And, you know, one of the things, there's a company that I want to thank tonight. I really, really want to thank this company and give them a lot of credit for, you know, for the whole upswing in this cryptocurrency and, you know, merchant account provision out there. I want to thank PayPal. I want to thank PayPal for being, you know, just a really great dictatorial company that, you know, has kind of been like, you know, kind of like the Gestapo a little bit, in forcing people to look for a better way. You know, so PayPal, I want to thank you very much, you know, for going around and harassing great people and you know, calling legitimate business opportunities multi-level marketing companies or Ponzi schemes that are not multi-level marketing, that are not Ponzi schemes, that are, you know, direct selling companies, literally direct selling companies and affiliate programs, legitimate ones, where there's no downlines, there's no tiers. And I really appreciate PayPal doing that for the entire industry, because now that's opened up a complete vortex for people. I think, you know, you got to shift. You have to shift the mindset. You have to shift the paradigm, right? And I believe our industry, you know, the affiliate, the network marketing industry, that whole home-based business industry is so receptive to cryptocurrency right now. And PayPal is very instrumental in making, you know, cryptocurrency even bigger, because they offer a really shitty service for entrepreneurs. Anyone that's building a home-based business, they basically do not support free enterprise in any which way, shape, or form, other than something that they control and monopolize, like maybe selling bubble gum on eBay or something like that. So PayPal, you totally rock, and thank you. You're going to make a lot of millionaires out there, but not with your company. Thank you very much. So Trace, how are you feeling about everything?
Well, that's a pretty loaded question, Mel, actually. I'm getting some feedback from you there, buddy.
I'll mute out.
Okay, thanks. You know, wow, God, where do I even begin? Well, you've been witness to a lot of emotions through this journey, as you have as well, Jerry. Thank God for everybody that's been part of this this structure. I want to start with something, first of all, that I heard somebody say today. They were on a Facebook Live, and they were talking about all this cryptocurrency and the Bitcoin, and you know, this guy was apparently some guy that was off of Wall Street from years ago, and he said, you know, it's over, we missed it. And I said, give your head a shake. You know what? There's so many people out there that don't even know about Bitcoin. The online world knows about it a little bit, but really not even that much. Just some of the network marketers know about it, because there's been a lot of programs that have been coming out recently, but the world really doesn't know about Bitcoin per se. So it's here to stay. And I think that we've got to the point within the structure of cryptocurrency that there's no debate about it anymore. I really believe that there's no debate about it. I think the only debate is how high will it go. You know, will it be around? I think they close it off on 2100 or something. And then, you know, like, where's that threshold? We don't know that. You know, we can't predict it because we're not the experts, and I don't think anybody knows that. It just depends on the global economy and what happens. But one thing I do know, and I had this conversation with someone today, and I said, you know, one of the reasons that we really leaned into you know, coin payments and the cryptocurrency, Bitcoin specifically to start with. We may deviate from that in our program as we move forward, but most specifically because we're not only just interested in people making money, we're interested in people being able to grow their wealth. And I think that in the network marketing industry, it has been it's an evolution, and I don't believe it's been in a very good place over the last little while. And people are struggling so hard just to make $100 to pay their bills and get a few groceries on the table, and then they're back at zero again. Then they're scrambling again, and then, you know, and they'll go to another program and they're scrambling again. And it seems to be a repeated occurrence continually on the online world. And so I think that what I believe, and this is just my belief system, that I think that we have an opportunity with what we're doing to not only help people to earn some money, but also to create some wealth and value. You said it very, very well the other day about, you know, about for your children, for your grandchildren. This is something that not only can you, as we watch the currencies and they're growing, and because of what's going on with the news, and the support that it's getting, that it will continue to rise. You know, is it going to fall? And it will fluctuate. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. But you have to be able to get your head around not comparing it to the US dollar, but about it becoming its own currency, and there's a separation in thought process that is very hard. And that was something that sort of came clear to me over the last few days, because, you know, we're looking at Troy and I are right into like the trading and the crypto. We're looking at different alt currencies and everything, altcoins. And that became very clear to me as I kept feeling that I kept having this sort of, I kept wanting to go back to the tradings where it was one against USD, but then I would go back to the other ones that were Bitcoin against, you know, Ripple or whatever the case may be. So if you can separate the fact and start understanding that it's an independent currency, it really has no association to the US dollar. It has its own independent value. And I think that's where people are going to be able to understand it a little bit further as we go along. But not to spend all the time on that, because in the process of what we started to put together, Val, you and I decided way back when we launched OneUp List Builder in December 19th of 2016. And, you know, we realized that we were in evolution. You know, the people that we were talking about, like, it was a very interesting movement of what we started with and where it just really did evolve into something different. And so Troy, God bless him. I mean, you know, if you want to talk about the perfect storm, I really do want to give full credit to, you know, sort of our foundation people. Jerry, you're one of them. Val, of course, you're our, you know, you're our leader and idea generator, and of course Troy, man, he's the rock. And Troy and I spent, I can't even tell you how many hours upon hours upon hours just conceptualizing everything about what we were going to do, why we're going to do it, how we were going to do it, the issues that we were up against, and all of the things that, you know, from a customer service viewpoint to an online marketer's viewpoint to a leader to, you know, informational. It was everything. And I can't even begin to tell you how many, probably hundreds of hours that we spent day in and day out just talking about things. And he just wrote solutions to everything and wrote solutions. So we started out with a concept. Really, that's where it started, because everything here that we have today in oneuplistbuilder.com is proprietary. It's not borrowed, it's not patched, it's not duct taped, it's not somebody else's that we purchased. Troy, this team right here, this executive team right here that we have really put their heart and soul into it. And you're right, Val. There was some late nights. Poor Jerry there. I think it was 3:45 one night. I'm the lucky guy because I'm on Pacific time. So I got the early hour, and then Troy's an hour ahead, and poor Jerry, he's 2 hours ahead. So there was many, and the last couple of nights, Troy and I've been on there till 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, 12-hour days. I mean, I was messaging him at 8 o'clock in the morning my time, and we didn't get finished up until 1 o'clock in the morning, and that was the last 2-3 days in a row. We were at critical mass at that point, and doggone it, we were bound and determined that this was going to get off the ground on this given day. And you know what? If you want to talk about that perfect storm component, I know it sounds a little cliche, but I really have to say that I've never been so blessed in my life, in all my years in corporate and all my years in the network marketing industry, consulting for companies and everything that I've ever done. I have never been so blessed to be working with such a great group of professionals, idea people that just stay to the course, get the job done. And you know what? At the end of a very, very trying day, we all are still laughing our guts out, having a good time. We get over it. And I mean, there was a few times the last few days, I mean, I was pushed to the limit on some things I really wasn't comfortable in doing. But you know what? Everybody's there to support each other. And you know what? There were some things we just got into, and you know what? Leaders get the job done. When there's a problem, you either go around it, you go through it, you go over it, you just create a different solution for it. It's all about finding out, it's all really about finding out what you're made of in times of those stress points. And my goodness, there's been some pretty great ones, even over these last few days, where you just have to give yourself a one-up and sit down and start over, walk away for a couple hours and sit down and figure it out. And with the minds at the table, it's been such a wonderful journey to really see it when we open the doors on this, and the messages. Val, I sent you a couple of messages that those are that's the reward when you have somebody saying, hey, I got a message from somebody today, and hey, I hadn't got anything set up yet, and hey, I just made my first sale, like bing, bang, boom. And she said, that was Rhonda. She said the video tutorials were awesome. And, kudos to the back office and all the components. And it's a creative collaboration of everybody with their best skill, with their very best skill set in the 4 quadrants. Everybody has their best skill set, and the respect amongst each other. We've just had a hell of a lot of fun doing this. And Val, you're the mastermind here. You're the one that put together the concept in the beginning. I kind of dug through the remnants and pulled a couple of rabbits out of a hat, trying to get companies sorted out to get them to work properly so we could work properly. Just dogged determination, diligence, and damn it, we're going to get the job done come hell or high water. I'm really, really proud of what we put together, and I think we're really going to make a difference for all the right reasons. It's the right thing. It's a currency paying for a retail product. It's not anything other than that, and it's just a different currency based on a new economy. And I'm just so excited about where this is going to go.
Well, the part that I really like about it is, I don't know, I think I'm reverbing there, but the part I like about it is not just the American dream, but I think the global dream here with what's been created. And it's been pretty easy on me. Although the hardest part for me, you guys had the hardest part. I was just kind of like the Henry Ford guy. I just said this, and this, and you guys were like absolutely wonderful in brainstorming and troubleshooting, because you all know that I'm not smart enough to even look in a jQuery or whatever you guys are calling those things there. But Jerry knows a little bit about that. So, but just the language you guys were using in those conversations, I just had to bail out of those calls. I am not into that whatsoever. But yeah, I just had the vision, the creativity, I guess, and you guys put it together. So you guys had all the hard work, and I had it easy. The only hard part I had was just being patient and really wanting this playground to be built. And I think all of you went, well and beyond what we envisioned the system to do. And the funny thing is with Troy is he says, we're not even done yet. Like, there's so much he can add to this back office. And, I think companies are going to be calling us. And we can get them to write checks for maybe $250,000 or something like that and start selling the software. Who knows? I'm joking if I say that, but honestly, that's what it feels like. I mean,
well, you know, and I think that specifically what you just said is exactly why we took our time to create what we've done, is because now we have the ability of being able to build on what we have as a proprietary. Sorry, I just read here again. As a proprietary platform. And, you know, so we've got something set in stone that we can continue to build on and build on and build on. It's not just a flash in the pan. It's not just anything that, you know, we were just going to throw something out there, you know, and everybody make a few bucks and then roll up and disappear. You know, you're in this industry for a very specific reason. You're an educator and a very well respected educator and very successful network marketer. You've got a huge history behind you, and all the things that you've done and all the people that you've helped. And heaven knows, I mean, we're not in at this point here. The whole point about One Up List Builder, because you started this right from the beginning, where you and I had a big long debate about having this as a simulator. And I said, a simulator, I'm not doing all this, where there's got to be some monetary reward in this for people. There has to be a real world solution in it. But I understood it right from the very beginning about it being a simulator, because there had to be a point of insertion for people to get into something to really understand the real world of network marketing. You know, get away from all the stuff that's not real, that's not true, and get back to the fundamentals, get back to the basis, and show people what real business is about. And I think that once we have the ability to do that, and what we've done now, again, with selling a product, you know, being part of the community, getting back to, you know, understanding what the relationship aspect of it is, and then learning and, you know, staying close to the heartbeat of the company and everything that you have to offer, Val. If people don't listen to every word that come out of your mouth, like I have since the day I met you, I've listened to all of your webinars, and every day that you and I hang out and talk on the phone, I mean, there's always a process of learning that we go through. Jerry, you and I've done the same thing. I mean, we've gone through a whole bunch of times where we really didn't have a clue, neither one of us. But you know what? We had such great respect for each other and belief in each other that we went in and tackled a lot of things that we weren't sure about. But we believed we could create a solution, and we believed that we could do something. And I think that's really a component that needs to come back into our industry, is the belief and the hope. I think that the people really have lost it. They've been taken out at the knees on so many of the wrong. I mean, they were doing things for the right reason, but they were following the wrong things or the wrong people. With all the wrong things that weren't going to give them what the industry is supposed to provide. And so there is a process of learning, so being in the cryptocurrency world, I think, is a really fresh start for people, because it's like everything else. You have to learn. I mean, it's a technology that you have to learn. It's not hard. I mean, let me back that statement up. It was hard. I have probably been studying it for 2 years. At least 2 years. I have been going through documentations and videos and you too, right? And you know what? We got on Val, you and Troy and I got on a conversation one night, and you know, Troy's he's a techie. He's just a brainiac. I mean, he knows everything about everything. Like, the guy's he's got a different wheel in his head than the rest of us do, and as you do, Val. And so, you know, he explained the blockchain. We got on a conversation. It was like 15 minutes, and all of a sudden the light bulbs started to go on, you know. And then it got to the point where, you know, now that I understand that component of it, I understand now how to look at this. I'm looking at this in a different way. So it's not. I think that we have a great opportunity in being able to teach people a new technology. It's not really new, because it's been around for several years now, but it's emerging so much more. People are hearing about it. And you know what, Val? That was the whole point about putting together those video tutorials, because people are not going to read a document. You can't send people out of your backyard or out of your parking lot to go and learn something and expect them to come back to you and pay for your goods. I learned that in my corporate world in the grocery industry. You never take people out of your parking lot. So that's what we did, was we spent so much time analyzing what's going on. People are saying out there, hey, if you got $20 in your Bitcoin wallet, come and join this opportunity. And people are going, how the hell do I get $20 in my Bitcoin wallet? I don't even know what a Bitcoin wallet is, right? They have no clue. And so that was the challenge, was putting it all into terms that people could understand, putting it into a video that you say, walking people specifically step by step through the process. Once we did that, I remember Troy and I sitting there one night going, well, that's pretty simple. And I said, yeah, but it wasn't until it took us weeks and weeks to figure it out. But now that we figured it out, we've got those videos now for people to follow. And I tell you, that was really the reward today when I got that message back and said, went in there in minutes, followed your videos, they're wonderful, and I got mine set up and got my first payment. You know what? That's why we do this. And so for me, I'm in the creating part of it. I love to do that. I'm an educator. I love to be able to assist people and help people to understand. And that's where the gap is in the network marketing industry and the cryptocurrency world. And we've bridged that gap, and we're providing that for people so that people can enjoy not only having success in sales, but now start to understand how they can build their wealth too. That's really important.
Yeah, I think the bottom line is everything's made easier now. And one of the key words that I think you left out was the word trust. Trust was a very big component in working, the four of us working together and getting it done. I mean, I can't tell you how confident I felt, never worried about a thing. Thank God I let you guys worry about it. But the whole process for me was let go, let God, as I used to teach back in Mentors and in Motion. Let go, let God, and never question it, never doubt it, and see it to its fruition. And through all the hell and high water and you know the semi floods that took place in conversations, or something happened, and it all came to fruition. And you guys made a commitment to the completion of the task. It all goes back to a lot of the traits of Think and Grow Rich. Commitment to the completion of the task, even when you're mentally challenged and want to throw in the towel. It's like, you took it to the next level, and the reward is going to be phenomenal. The really cool thing about those 3 videos is I could see a lot of people, we could take everything away out of One-Up List Builder. We could take the 25,000 cellular database out of the equation. We could take the $189, extracting software, everything. We could take it all out of there tomorrow, and we could just sell those 3 videos that you did, Trace, and people would need it, because the biggest thing, I'm seeing all these people pitching all these different high-end yield programs, cryptocurrency this, cryptocurrency that. You brought up the most important element, is people do not know how to get started. They don't know what the first move is. And I'm seeing people saying, what you need to do first is set up a Coinbase. That's not what you need to do first. You definitely need to have the whole gamut. You need to, step one is you got to have coin payments. I mean, you need a processor. It's not just about one program. I mean, I believe a lot of this industry, and I really believe this. I believe a lot of network marketing companies are going to move towards, Bitcoin, because it's cheaper. It's cheaper to do it. The cost, you're not dealing with all this credit card stuff, right? The transference of money, everything is just, it's cheaper.
Well, but here's just on that note. Sorry for interrupting, but just on that note, think about this. So in any kind of a transaction now, if you're dealing with a bank transaction, you're going to be waiting for probably 2, 3, 4, 5 days for that bank transaction to go through, whether you're funding your account, whether you're waiting for that to come through your process or whatever process you may be using, so that you can have access to the money. It's instant in a sense. It might take 10 minutes, it might take a half an hour, whatever the case may be. But it still is, in a sense, instant, that the money gets transferred, the currency gets transferred into your wallet. You have access to that. You have access to that. And the other part of it is what, the cryptocurrency works because we've been trying to, like I said, we have just really immersed ourselves into understanding this whole world. And it's fascinating. It's absolutely fascinating. It operates very similarly just to our regular currency. It reflects on the news, and we've watched with the cryptocurrency news about Japan is huge. There's 260,000 merchants will be accepting Bitcoin by this summer in Japan. They're also working on using Ripple for using it for exchanges as well. There's just so much going on. I don't want to get into that, but I mean, it boggles my mind. So people have to understand that when, like I said, what somebody said earlier, oh, they missed Bitcoin. It's too late. It's too late. I should have been in it, a few years ago. It's too late. Hogwash. We haven't even begun. I mean, and I don't want to get into predictions because predictions can be wrong too. But what I do know is that it's a way of exchange. Currency is an exchange for goods. And we have a currency that is an exchange for goods that's not going to be held up to the bank system where you can have access to that. And I've put together a document in that third video, and that's the one that's really important because it's wonderful to be able to understand it, but then you have to be able to acquire it. You have to be able to exchange it, but you also have to be able to either expend it or save it or secure it. And so that last piece of that is how do you actually manage now to be able to trade or use that currency in your everyday life? Well, you posted it the other day, Val. Subway's accepting Bitcoin now. That's major. I mean, that's just a major, it's a major retailer now that's out there that is accepting Bitcoin, and they're coming on board more and more and more and more and more because the way that the blockchain works, you're going to see a lot more things. And I just say things loosely because I don't even know what now. Things that are going to actually move and be move through the blockchain as well because it's so secure because it's not centralized. Somebody is not one person is controlling it, and it was about time for that to happen. And so if we can move people through at a very at an amount of money, $25 is not something that's going to stress them out. If they were going to a $1,200 product, getting set up and being able to do that might stress people out. But you know what? This is what our process is, Val. You and I have spoke about this often, is getting them comfortable, getting them to experience the sale, getting them to experience that relationship building, getting them to experience what the network marketing industry is about, and then building on that, and then we can take them into as our platform. And Troy the wizard, I call him. He's a wizard. He's a magician. He's just he just baffles me some days in his brilliance at what he can do. And you know what? We build on this, and we build another platform. We take people through the process, and the future. What we have now, we have a solid foundation that's driven deep. And so what we can do next on that is, who knows? I mean, it's, whatever your creativity brings up, it's whatever we've got here. Jerry, we've got you artwork. Jerry, thanks to Jerry for your artwork today, by the way. Beautiful, beautifully done. I wanted to give you kudos for that as well. For we put out there for the hangout tonight. That was Jerry's handiwork. So we've got, there's just, we've just tipped the iceberg. We it's, and the collaboration of this group, it's so interesting watching ideas blossom like that, the process. And I think that's where people get lost in this industry, is they don't enjoy the process. All they do is they get a link and they want the sale. They get a link and they want the sale. And if we hadn't enjoyed this process like we have, we would never be here today having this conversation about what we just produced.
Yeah, I have to agree with that statement.
Yeah.
Jerry, were you going to say something? Sorry, bud.
I was going to say, no, there were some nights too that, I mean, we didn't know the answer or what we had to figure out. We would say, well, you know what, let's sleep on it, and then we'll figure it out in the morning, or it'll come to us in the morning. And sure enough, every time that we did that, our brain just needed the rest or whatever. But we ended up, figuring out a solution for the problem, and that was really awesome. having to work together and come up with those ideas. It's just I'm really glad I'm here, and I'm really glad that we stuck with it to the end. And just like Tracy said, it's about being diligent and not giving up on what you see as your vision, or the dream that you have for the people as a whole. I think this is going to be an awesome opportunity for people to just even get educated on the Bitcoin aspect of the business is going to be huge. And I'm just glad I'm here.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing to see the evolutionary process, and just kind of summarizing all of this up. The bottom line is it all came down to trust and surrendering to the process and letting it happen. And like you said, Jerry, giving your brain a rest. I mean, I can't even begin to talk about what you guys went through in doing that, but I trusted the whole process, knowing it was gonna happen. Didn't know when it was gonna happen, but I knew it was gonna happen. And I can imagine other people that are on the outside that can't even begin to comprehend what the whole project had to go through to get to where it is today. They'll never really understand the story. So I give you both permission to have a drink tonight, take a deep breath, relax, because this has been kind of like a therapeutic session here tonight, just spilling the beans on what was that voyage like, to make it through a tsunami. That's what it sounds like, really, because the project was easy to visualize and put it together and paint the canvas on my end, but to put it together, it was quite the project. But the beautiful thing about what it is we're doing dollars for what people are getting here for $25, it's kind of like a scenario I said, this afternoon. I said, if I gave you the keys to my Porsche, and I said you could have the keys to my Porsche, you could have the Porsche, you could drive it away out of my driveway, full title, full ownership for $25. Would that be something you're interested in? And that doesn't even do justice what it is we're offering people for $25. Forget about the Porsche; it has no value. It might have $100,000 value, but the business opportunity that we created here, people that are seeing this right now, they might not even know it, but within 22, 23, 24 months, they could be millionaires. They have no idea yet. And when I said earlier today that lottery tickets can become obsolete, the average person doesn't need to buy lottery tickets anymore. Why spend $25 on a lottery ticket that is not going to pay off when you can spend $25 here? Gather the data, the information, and get into the game and work your way up the ladder. You don't have to worry about whether Bitcoin's $1,700 or $2,400. You have to have a starting point. You have to start from somewhere. And with the mechanisms we've put into play, it will allow people to play in that industry and reap the rewards of that industry and have the payouts of that industry. So it's really cool that somebody's created this whole new currency, a whole new opportunity in this time and space in our lives. It's just really, really enhanced and taking the internet by storm. I really hope people overcome any jaded, cynical, skeptical thoughts, small thinking, allow themselves to go through the paradigm shift of shifting gears and not buying into, it's like, politics. You have the left wing and the right wing, and you don't want to buy into the dream stealers out there, because they have nothing to show for anything in their lives anyhow. I mean, you've got nothing to lose, everything to gain, and even if it was to evaporate in 2022 or whatever, and you made a few $1 million along the way, or you made $800,000 or $250,000, I mean, was that so bad? I can't begin to tell you how many people will stick to a system of methodology and network marketing for a multitude of years and continue to fail, because most of the stuff that's being taught in network marketing is a crock of crap anyhow. Most of the stuff that's being taught out there in wealth creation is a crock of crap. It doesn't work. And it's not going to work, because the other side of the fence is the people aren't going to work it. The people don't want to do the work, which leads me into another aspect of what it is here that we didn't talk about. Tonight was more of a therapeutic session. But when you take a look at what we've got in the back office, we also have a done-for-you marketing component to this whole thing that is immense value. And it's all built up based on the Think and Grow Rich, operation. You can have people do all the work for you for pennies on the dollar, And all you have to do is maybe put in 10% of the effort. And that's to make sure the person signs up, give them the appropriate information. But all the physical work to draw the traffic, to maximize your potential. Listen, you know, what I'd be doing right now is I would be utilizing the system we have for pennies on the dollar. If you're a nobody out there, and don't take that the wrong way when I say nobody, but if you said to me, this is my name, I'm in your program, and then I go punch you up on Google and there's nothing about you there, you can literally spend a few dollars, $5, $10, $15, whatever it is, and have representation. Have all these experts out there that spend 18 hours a day on the computer, 20 hours a day on the computer, 14 hours a day on the computer. You can have that whole segment of experts on the internet making you look like a superstar. It might cost you 5, 10, 15, 20 bucks to do that. I don't know the exact answer, the exact sum of money, but it's going to be pretty minuscule. And all of a sudden, when you're building your business and anything you do, you've got representation. You might not have the skill set to do those things, because I sure don't have the skill set to do too much when it comes to that, but I have the people around me that can do that for me, right? So you can be the most shy, scared, introverted person and make a fortune and have other people doing the work. And when you take a look at an operation like Microsoft, just imagine how many incredible minds, gifted, talented people are proud, excited, motivated, inspired to work for Bill Gates while he sits, behind a desk, probably counting money. But he's got them all doing the work. I mean, he's getting the best grads from Silicon Valley, Harvard, all the best programmers in the world. They're bringing them in, and he lets them do all the work, and they're happy with their $200,000-$300,000 a year. Their shares of the company or little stock options and stuff like that, while he gets to do what he does best, be the star of the show, enjoy life, and let Forbes magazine write about him every year and tell the world how great he is. And he gets to give money away. But the only reason why he gets to do that is because he's delegated the tasks out to a workforce, divisionary departments that take care of everything he can't take care of. And that's how you build a business. So this whole mythical thing about people having to get out there and learn this and learn that, and hey man, come to my course today. I mean, I get all that. I'm going to piss some people off for saying that. Don't mean to take your crowd away from you, but the bottom line is you can be anonymous. You don't have to be able to speak well. You don't have to learn how to do videos now. I'm totally convinced of this now, although everyone's saying opposite. You can literally take all those experts out there and make you a ton of money while you're just learning how to go to the bank or learning how to go online and transfer money, from your Coinbase into, the proper avenue or the proper channel, and then right into your bank account. That's as hard as this business has to be. But if you want the traffic, they're there to do it. If you want to be on the search engines, they're there to do it. If you want your YouTube channel functioning, they're there to do it. Whatever you want. If you want special customized copywritten ads for Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is, they are there to do it. They're there to perform a service. And that's their passion, their excitement, their joy, their pleasure. And, it's just kind of like sitting back and letting a whole bunch of little, what do you call those things? Oompa Loompas come into your house and clean your house from the Willy Wonka show, right? Let all the Oompa Loompas clean your house. You sit back and you go, oh my God, this is fabulous. Look at my house. Somebody comes to your house and says, oh my God, your house is absolutely gorgeous. What happened? The Oompa Loompas, they don't know the Oompa Loompas made you look good, right? And that's what you'll see in the back office, the various different channels. And most of you are familiar with the one that I'm really excited about now. It's all over the internet, but most people have never used it properly or accordingly or took the time to go through it and literally talk to the various different associates that are attached to that forum and interview them and ask them questions and show them your site and say, this is what I hope to get out of your service. Can you do this for me? Do you feel comfortable doing this for me? Have you ever done this for me before? And if people do that, man, it's going to make your life so much easier, and it's going to eliminate that Mickey Mouse ratio out there. 3% make the money, 97% of the people do all the work. 97% of the people in this industry don't want to do work. And if the 97% of the people don't want to do work in this industry, we've got the done for you system. We've got the channels. We've got the avenues that these people need in order to finally experience success. Because I don't want to build a website. I don't want to connect autoresponders. I don't want to sit there and manage a YouTube channel. I just want somebody else to do that. You know, let them all do it, right? And you can get credit for it. And that's what we have to shift our mindset. And you know, we all have to. We have to shift our mindset and say that, you know what, it's okay to let somebody do something for us. You know, it's okay to let somebody, you know, do that for you. It's okay. Like a lot of people out there like to control their screwed up lives, right? A lot of people like to control their screwed up failures, and then blame other people. Well, now if you want to blame other people, legitimately get other people to do something for you, and then you can blame them. You know what I mean? And then you can say, well, the only reason why I failed is because of that, instead of blaming it on a company, a product, a service, or, you know, whatever the people do. It's the best system in the world. We have it in the back office, pennies on the dollar. And I just can't believe what we're giving for $25 and allowing people to keep 100% of the commission, and we just get $5 for hosting a website. Isn't that?
Wait a minute, we don't get $5.
Well, we don't get $5. You're right. By the time it's said and done, you know, we get 11 cents to pay for the hosting of the website.
How about that?
Yeah, pretty much after the fees are taken away. But you know what? It's a philanthropic job. It's a philanthropic program. The industry needs a simulator, and the industry actually needs people that care. And you know, to create whether it was $15 or $25, and just to give back to this industry, how can somebody argue with that? You know, other people out there would be saying, you know, how can I maximize my potential off people? How can I hit them up for $1,200 or, you know, whatever it is? I mean, I get that. I respect that. But you know what? We're just a little bit weird. We're just a little bit different. And we're just a little bit more caring, and we're go-givers as opposed to go-getters. The go-getters out there, you know, they would come up with a project like this and market it for $1,000, $1,200, $1,900, $2,000. That's cool. I get it. Free enterprise at its finest. But rightly or wrongly, we're philanthropists, and we've just chosen to take that route to help people and really leave a major positive impact in this industry. And I'm just so proud of what you guys have done, and I'm so proud of the project, and I'm really looking for the future.
Yeah. Well, and I think that once people really clue into how this.
Sorry.
That's okay. Sorry, Phil. I think when people really clue into the power of how that one-up works, I think that they've experienced it a little bit, but I think that it'll grow like wildfire because people will get it. And there's so many components of what we put together that people will get. It's the content that we've provided in the back office, the resources and the tools. I mean, there's one video or one audio, Val, that you did that's worth 10 times the price of admission just to listen to what you put together. And there's another one that you just sent over to me yesterday or today, I can't remember now, that I still have to put in the back office as well. But the tools that are there, the done for you marketing, we haven't missed one iota in what people require, what they need to be able to do something. And it's everything. It's thinking about everything a little bit differently. Like you said, it's about thinking about the Henry Ford way or the Think and Grow Rich way. It's adjusting your thought process, but it's also adjusting it for the new currency as well. It's a whole different way. It's like you kind of have to wipe the slate clean and be open and willing to learn something brand new. And it's not learning something brand new that's old. This is something brand new that's new. You know, the Henry Ford thing is old, but it's still, people still don't get it. It's tried and true. It works. It's simple, and it's very powerful. You know, and so now that we've got this set up, and you're right, the nights that we went through, and there were the last few days, there were some pretty tense moments. You know, and sometimes I think the psychological. You're right. This is really our therapy session. We get on here. I know it is for me. I know it is for you, because we have a way of being able to express some of the things that it's taken for us to get through. And at one point, a couple of days ago, I mean, Troy and I we were really baffled on something, completely baffled. And we did, both of us, we had to just put things down and step away and come back with a fresh brain, you know, a fresh outlook, a fresh brain. And you know what was so, it was like going in with like the mind of a child almost, of being able to just to look at things differently, to look at them differently, to take things apart and go step by step. Instead of trying to look at it in a big way, we looked at it in a very small way. We looked at things incrementally so that we could work through some of the process. And at the end of the process, it's interesting because this is how people can succeed in their careers and in their network marketing industry, is they think that they can start here and end up here in one gambit. They can do that all in one motion, and it's not possible. It's you need to start at the beginning, and you need to take this component and devour that component and utilize that component, and then take the pieces that work, discard the rest like a buffet, and then move forward and move into the next components of it. And we had to go through that process on our own, systematically, to be able to resolve something that we were trying to resolve. And so it's no different than anybody else. You know, the answer's there. Is it always visible? No. Is it always what you think the answer should be? We've gone through a lot of very secret answers in this journey. I mean, we've worked very, very hard to get answers to things because we didn't ask the right questions. So we were getting answers, but we weren't getting the answer we wanted. So we had to formulate the question differently. Then we had to get it. We got another answer that still wasn't the right answer. We had to go back and formulate a different question again, so that we could get. We finally had to. And then we called them the secret answers, because it was the quality of our question really depended on how we could resolve, so that we could move on to the next part of the process. But we always started with the end in mind, and then had to work our way back. But it was always started as a concept and a belief in the trust in each other. And really just, and to you, Val, just, I mean, you just gave us the time and the frame to do it. There was never any pressure. I put the pressure on myself mostly, but to get it done. And I'm just, I can't say enough about this whole team of people. I've been blessed. I don't think there's anybody out there that could put together a dream team like this ever. It's been so much fun. It really has. So.
It has. Well, on a closing note, it's going to be a great project. It's going to be a great ride. I suggest catch the wave. Anybody that's looking at cryptocurrency out there and you're confused, you're frustrated, you don't understand it, you don't know what it's all about, you don't know how to get started. We recognized all of that, because those are common pieces of feedback out there on the internet. We've made it, well, I can't say we, I guess, Tracy, you made it so simple in those audio tutorials, video tutorials. Step by step, you hold their hand through every little move, every little click. There's no way somebody could miss out on it. So I think we're pretty much done for tonight, unless you got something to say. Anyone,
I just want to say what was funny about it was I made you go and use the tutorials to set yours up too.
Yeah, well, there's the test right there. Like, I mean, see, they all understand the process. They're the brains behind the system. I'm just the dope that stand on stage, and they get me to be the guinea pig. They send me through. They always say, well, if Val can do it, anybody can do it. It kind of reminds me of that Life commercial. Hey, get Mikey to do it. So I'm kind of like the goof that goes in and, this the useless one that can go do it. And I passed the test, believe it or not. I passed the test on the video step by step. Tracy took me through it and, did it. And when I tried to deviate from that, I totally screwed up, because you said Val's clicking here, Val's clicking there. Val, go back and watch the video. I tried to take the shortcut just because that's who I am. I'm impatient. I think, oh, okay, I can do this, right? I tried to go 2 steps ahead, and then I had to go back. I screwed it all up, and I had to go back. Okay, watch the video. So watch the video, and I was able to do it by Coinbase, my coin payments, and storing my Bitcoin in the refrigerator. It's all good now.
I laugh. I laugh because I understand what you mean about watching the video, because I just went over there to try to go through it myself without watching the video.
And,
Yeah, I was like,
Jerry, you're
well,
smart, man. You're
it
a
don't work that
technician.
way.
You're a troubleshooter for a company. And so it's amazing. But I mean, I'm probably the biggest moron out there. So if I can do it, you guys will have no problem doing it. And Rhonda, you know, we didn't even tell them they had the site up and running, and Rhonda had a sale go through today. And when they went back to the video tutorial, because they didn't try to take a shortcut maybe, and went back to the video, and it was absolutely perfect. So I'm stoked. I'm excited, and I look forward to seeing where this goes. I really, really do. It's going to be fun. It's a no-pressure business opportunity. And if I were to be getting involved in any home-based business today that's safe, secure, no financial risk to it, and has this type of value, I don't see anything comparable out there on the internet. Even in the Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency programs, people are still frustrated when they join those programs trying to figure out, how do I set up this? How do I set up that? They get lost a little bit. And here, if you get lost, you're found pretty fast. So anyhow, I'm going to say on behalf of myself, I'm not going to speak for Tracy and Jerry. They can speak for themselves. But listen, you all have a great night. Love you all in spirit. It's just been a great ride. And I just thank God it's all over with. Let's move on. Let's get the show on the road. And let's make it happen. Have a great night, folks.
Thanks, everybody. Good night.
Good night.